Are you ready for Death by Mil Muertes? We shouldn't, because we're not going to be killing anybody here, because instead it's the Court Martial Podcast live stream. As always, I am your Colonial Champion, Sean McCarty. I just wanted to deck this out because because it is a new year. And with a new year, we've got a lot of new things coming up, and I am very, very excited to bring the new year to you, as we should, by kicking it off with arguably WWE's greatest match of all time, or at least what many consider to be the greatest pro wrestling match that WWE has put on of all time, in Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25. You can see behind me, I've added a little bit more to my wrestling repertoire, so you're seeing a little bit more than just the White Knucks logo and a bunch of stars here. You're seeing the Grapply Awards, which I'm still sending out. You see a title belt here, you see a title belt there, and of course you see my smiling face right here in the center frame. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a doozy of a match. However, I'm going to explain, because this is a great match. It's 33 minutes. And does this include entrances? Do they bring the old entrances, or are they just going? Oh, no, they go right in. They skip the entrances. So this 33-minute match, although there is going to be a bunch of recaps and stuff as well, but this is going to go, it's going to go half an hour. It's going to go half an hour right here. So because of that, I'm going to pop the gimmick on and see how long the gimmick actually lasts. The real gimmick, because I am your Colonial Champion, Sean McCarty, and of course our logo is this hat. So we're going to watch this match. I'm sure that there's going to be advertisements every 5 minutes, so just bear with me as best you can as far as getting these synced up as we are. Of course, it is 0-0-0. It is 0-0-0 that we are going to start this matchup, but you know, we know how it's going to go. And Skylar, in the comments, by the way, the co-host Skylar, I don't know if you all remember this, that Skylar actually is now a member, a full-fledged member of the Court Martial Podcast team, and you will hear a lot more from him in the coming weeks, as of course this week, as we'll see him on Friday. But of course I have to give the match to you, don't I? WrestleMania 25, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. I totally forgot to put this in the chat, because even though it's a new year, I didn't say that everything was going to change and that all of a sudden all of my bad habits were going to go away, because that is not how it works here at the Court Martial Podcast. You get what you get, and what you get is fun. And here we go. And now that I can actually look at the chat section, the WrestleMania 25 match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Not as much stakes on the line. Of course, 26, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker had the career versus streak match, which had a lot more weight and gravitas, and of course the farewell with Shawn Michaels that was so heartfelt, or at least felt heartfelt, and then, you know, Saudi Arabia comes along. What is it? The two best WrestleMania farewells. All three of them. All three of the WrestleMania farewells, the one with Taker, the one with Flair, and the one with Michaels, all three of them have been ruined by money. And I mean, The Undertaker went another, 3 years? Went another 3 years before he finally hung it up. And then what a way to hang it up. Oh, God. I don't even want to talk about that whole final farewell garbage. But in any event, let's just jump right into this. I have not seen this match in probably 2 or 3 years, so it's going to be nice to revise and rewatch these two experts at their craft. Again, this is going to be 30 minutes with advertisements peppered through this. So I'm going to try as best I can to timestamp this so we can reset and continue on the way we need to continue on. And Skylar, thank you for popping in for that brief moment to discuss WrestleMania 26. And, of course, we're going to be hearing more from Skylar on Friday when he is on the podcast proper. So we're going to be hearing a lot more from him. But for now, let's take a look at this. Going to have a lot of fun here. We are at 0-0-0. For those of you who did not check the chat, it is Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels full match, WrestleMania 25, WWE's YouTube channel. And here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Greatest match of all time. They're promoting Survivor Series, probably because of the Undertaker. All right, here it is. And it's Michael Cole, and I already hate it. I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. This was not bad. This was not bad for Michael Cole. He had gotten absolutely insufferable yet. But I believe this is Michaels, JR, and King, which is the weirdest set, but a commentary team that worked. Michaels with some chops. These two have had so many matches between each other about so many matches, countless between each other, countless feuds from the mid 90s to the late 90s to now. And these two always had a terrific chemistry. that shock with Shawn Michaels. Oh, God. He was hurled over, and then he got like right in between the turnbuckle. Shawn Michaels, listen, I know that it was a big part of his gimmick, but his crotch chops look awful. They are the worst. Every single other member of DX has a better crotch chop than Shawn Michaels. Shawn's crotch chops were bad. So sorry. I know that's a weird thing to be thinking of, and of course, this is a babyface versus babyface match. There really is no heel. I guess because Shawn Michaels wasn't doing anything heelish until the year afterwards, which also I think added to the stakes. This was just two major names having a major match, but it really is just two baby faces going at it. And this is one of those few times with the right guys in the right circumstances, the babyface and babyface can work. But it is not all the time. Michaels loved doing that flare bump, but liked coming back to hit the back body drop afterwards. Shawn clearly a student of Flair. Although, really, when you think about it, there really wasn't a ton of overlap between Flair and Shawn. Because you could have been a fan of Ric Flair. I mean, in the 70s, yeah. I mean, obviously, you've got to be, with the fan of what Rick was doing at the time. But Shawn started in what, 80? 80, 81? And Flair had been around for a while then, but oh, now those shoulder blocks by the Undertaker. Undertaker's so physically imposing. This is 2009? It's amazing it would take another 8 years before you started to see it. Oh, here comes the first ad. And it's gonna keep playing, so I didn't even see the timestamp. I'm sorry. I'll try and bring us back in at the same time. It's kind of hard to do with the WWE YouTube ads because they suck. 4 minutes is where that started. So we are at 4:05. So far, this is all Undertaker because he's the incumbent. So I guess the incumbent would dictate babyface in that situation. Because even though it is babyface, they are still going to work a style where there would technically be a heel. And that's going to be Shawn. And the chop block. And now they're working the knee. Not necessarily dirty, just what you got to do. That was weird. It's like just a shining wizard, but I'm not even sure what to call that. So let's go for a figure four. Oh god, he didn't even hook it in right. He didn't even hook it in right. Oh god, this is bad. Shawn, I've seen you hook the figure four in before, but whatever this is not it. Is that Corderis is the referee? No. No, that's not Corderis. Who is officiating this match? I don't know who that is. Not by the face. It's Shawn doing that doing the little hair tie with the small little tuft. Sure beats the soccer mom bowl cut that he had in 2002. Working Taker's leg, Taker selling the leg just enough of a limp for Shawn to see it. A lot of what they do is subtle, but that's what makes it so just absolutely beautiful. I like how Undertaker just did that teeny bit of a shimmy step to show that his leg was still hurting, even as he was bringing him into the corner. Snake eyes. Big boot. That was a ridiculous sell, but that's Shawn Michaels. Oh, and speaking of 05 Shawn Michaels, there's a leg drop. Shawn took that leg drop from Taker better than he ever would take a leg drop from Hulk Hogan. That was a leg drop from Hulk Hogan. He literally would have bounced, run up the top rope, and jumped and done that moonsault that Janela did during the Cracker Barrel triple threat and just beat it onto the floor. Shawn Michaels with a crossface. Shawn Michaels the only guy after Chris Benoit to do a crossface that and then let it be and then have that be relatively accepted. But once again, Shawn with another submission that was I guess that's not Shawn's fault. That's Undertaker being smart, just rotating his body around. Oh, here's another ad. 8 minutes. 8:27 is when we're going to timestamp. Oh, and here comes. Oh, it's the final four of Hell's Kitchen. Oh, cool. I think Declan made it still. Hell yeah. Sorry, I've watched a couple of those episodes when they were still on YouTube. There's this big old Irish dude that I really like on that show. And it looks like he made it into like the final 4 or 5, so I'm happy with that. That's good. He deserved it. He was a good cook. This is when Jerry Lawler had some life in him during commentary. always love when Undertaker took a strike and he would just stand up and no sell and just stare at the guy. That always just cracks me up. It's just one of those beautiful things about that gimmick that Mark just nailed. Like for Shawn Michaels milking this nip up. Milking the hell out of that nip up. But he knew the longer he laid down, the bigger a pop he get. That's how much Shawn knows. But these two haven't even gotten started yet. So maybe, I'm starting to think that maybe these guys running away from their opponent to hit the ropes, that has to be a WWE telling them to do that. It's got to be for the cameras. It's got to be formatting of the way they shoot it. That's the only way I can imagine that because Shawn Michaels, of all people, would not have done that unless he's told these are the only ways to shoot off the ropes for our camera. Taking the shock bump. Are we getting a better? Jesus. Hell's Gate. I don't understand. To this day, I still don't quite understand the Hell's Gate as a submission. Because it doesn't seem like something that would actually do anything. Kind of tying yourself up just to pull a guy's head down. Like those tights by Michaels. They look cool. Well, here comes another ad. 12:32. Okay. All right, 12:32, and we're back. That was quick. I'm looking at a 6-second one. Undertaker doing his drop by. Oh, I'm sorry, the apron leg drop. Oh, you missed it. Excuse me, I'm yawning, folks. I have not had enough water today. It is north of 9 o'clock here on the East Coast. We haven't even gotten to Undertaker's big dive yet. Shawn's hair is so ruffled, but somehow that hair tie is still in his hair. And see, that's the thing. Wow, that was bad. What? That was bad. That moonsault looked bad. Yeah, but that didn't even look like it was going to hit. Yeah, but I don't think Shawn aims that right either. Yeah, I want to see this. Yeah, that was definitely a weird contortion for Shawn to try and hit that. Yeah, moonsault or maybe a crossbody. I don't know if Shawn made a decision. It kind of looked like he just torqued himself. The Undertaker again. Instead of Shawn milking the nip up, Undertaker milking the sit up. Oh, here comes the dive. After Shawn nearly kills himself. Here comes Undertaker. It says, "Hold my beer." Oh, God. Oh, no. That looks just as bad now as it did then. Oh, God. Oh, God. And how did the ref get hit? How did the ref take a bump? And I like how the other cameraman's like, "Nah, should I help my fellow cameraman up? Nah, I'll just leave him there." Yeah, you can kind of see the indentation where Taker's head landed on the mat. Why Taker would? Oh, Shawn put. Why would Shawn push what? Why would Shawn push the referee in order to take the cameraman when he could have taken the referee and the cameraman? I, I mean, irrelevant because Taker would have missed whoever he had chosen anyway. But that was a very odd move by Michaels. This match is still wildly entertaining, though. Still wildly entertaining. Yeah, like King in almost every one of these major matches says somebody's got to stop this match. You know damn well they're not going to stop this match. Oh, wow, we actually got in. Right. Shawn's saying something to the referee. Probably checking his time, seeing how much longer he's got. Not that Shawn cares. If Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon is any indicator. Yeah, this is all communicating with the ref, all talking to the ref. He's pointing over there, probably saying this is it's probably more of a time check than anything. God, that dive. Shawn looks like he's about to kiss him in order to get him to wake it up. And to think that people had to watch Triple H versus Randy Orton after this. I'm surprised Undertaker didn't concuss himself with that. Not that they would ever have this match end on a count out. But the fact that it was set up this way still gets people invested. With Shawn being all upset. Now Shawn's pissed. Now Shawn's putting up his big boy tights. I like how the referee's still selling it a little bit. He's not quick on the chops, just slamming down. He's like, "Oh, my body." Any selling of any description is very, I'm very thankful for. And the fact that this referee is still selling the fact that Shawn pushed him into the barricade. You don't see the Young Bucks selling the way this referee's selling. King. I've never seen a more devastating chokeslam. I don't know. That one against Hulk Hogan in 2002 was pretty nasty. Tombstone attempt. Shawn slide out. Sweet Chin Music blocked. Choke slam again. Blocked this time. Sweet Chin Music. And everybody's on their feet, but Shawn's too weak. I like seeing a bald-ass Savanovic freaking the hell out on the Spanish commentary. From out of nowhere. Never heard that before. Now Shawn's upset. Couldn't do it with the Sweet Chin Music. He's got to be thinking to himself, what does he have to do? What would have been nice is if Shawn didn't come back later in 2009 to help Triple H and do that DX run. If he had not come back at all and just shown up during the Rumble season, that would have been so much better. I would have rather not. I mean, don't get me wrong, Legacy benefited from working with DX, but the tag title run and the stuff that could you imagine how much more impact this match and how pissed Shawn was with this, how much more 26 would have meant without Shawn doing all of that extra stuff. If the only time we saw Shawn after this was for the feud where it was like, I need to have the match with The Undertaker. I need to have the match with The Undertaker, so I'm entering the Rumble. This is my only shot. And then he loses that, and then he tries for, and then he screws Taker out of the title, and then everything else can play the way it did. But I almost wish that we hadn't. I almost wish we hadn't gotten 09 DX. I feel like it wasn't necessary. Don't get me wrong. I love me some DX, but I mean, was that match at SummerSlam 09 with the McMahons, was that really necessary? I don't think so. And you could have had the Jericho thing go on without it. You could have had. I mean, we did get Shawn Michaels and Rey Mysterio out of that, so that was because he had that in this Straight Edge Society stuff. But that match ended in a non-finish. Yeah, that was pretty peculiar out of Undertaker. I forgot that Undertaker tried to hit that. It was a good elbow though. It looked good. The dark side of the Undertaker. Was this the WrestleMania that Shawn Michaels came out in the white suit? I think it was. Where it was like in the Undertaker's garb, but it was all white. Shawn Michaels skinned the cat, but nearly choking himself in the first rope. Oh my God. Oh, that was great. That was a great catch. The skinning the cat into the tombstone, the cover. They say it's over. Shawn kicks out. Undertaker meme. Yes. The Undertaker meme. Undertaker doesn't get enough credit for the pounds and pounds and pounds of guy liner he wore over the course of a 30-year career. Here comes another ad. I didn't check the timestamp. And they're gonna make me go through all 15 seconds of this one, huh? Okay. There's crabs. So I'm gonna tell you about that advertisement. There's crabs. All right. Timestamp 24 minutes. There's another 10 minutes or another. Well, I guess another 6 minutes to this match. There's another 6 minutes to this match. But, this is where WWE's drag it out, milk it format really works well because these are two guys where they built this to where it still feels, even though it's slowed down a lot with their facials and the way that they've got it, it still feels like it's coming to a head. Uh-oh, Taker's taking off the straps. Although something about me likes short hair Taker over long hair Taker. I know that's an odd opinion, but is Shawn get another super kick in here? Yes, right here, right? He's going for another one. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that DDT was bad. He laid it all on Shawn. God, thank God these two are as over as they were because the Smarts would have been picking this match apart. That DDT was rough. There were a lot of botches in this match. You don't really recognize it. You don't really recognize it until you see it like this. But this match is still A grade. I mean, I'm still having a great time watching this. These two have brought it to such an intense point. The fans are so into it, as I recall them being. But if you tried to do this with Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin, I guarantee you this match would not have been the same. I mean, if you had these guys do the same, those guys do the same exact spots, and they had this kind of bot, these little, oh, Shawn nearly fell off the top. Oh no! You know what I wish they didn't do with the Undertaker though so much? I wish that every opponent past pretty much Shawn Michaels at Randy Orton all tried to do the tombstone, and it backfired on all of them. And I hated that they all tried to do that. It was not worth it. And it was also fairly predictable when you got to that point. Although that was great as a finish with Orton and Undertaker. And we got that sweet chin music, and now Shawn got to go over. Shawn hits his finish. Taker kicks out of Shawn's finish. Oh, the pop for the kick out. Oh, his fans going bonkers. They're going banana. Man, could you imagine what it would have been like to be in this arena for this match? Even in the nosebleeds. To hear that many people freaking out over this tremendous match, and then to watch Triple H and Orton afterwards. No offense to Triple H and Orton, but there was no way that they were going to be able to follow this. Oh, another thing I love about Taker. I love when he always when he did that stutter stagger and he especially when he was in a long match and he would still put up his hands like he was trying to fight. I loved that. It was a sell of Taker's that nobody else could do. Here comes the 1-2. God, the sells. The sells are brilliant. Taker, that boot lifted so casually. only Shawn had been this professional his entire career, you know? Although we wouldn't have had some of the most ridiculous moments. One more ad, folks. 29:33 is where we're at. Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. 29:35 right here. With some elbows. People on their feet, they know something big's coming. They've had the time to cool down. They know something big's coming. Now, Taker running into the boot by Shawn Michaels. I know that happens all the time now. And even then, even in 2009, that was pretty rampant. But boy, you want to talk about it still making some level of meaning in it. Shawn going for another moonsault, and Taker saw him and caught him, but he urged it just so he can get another tombstone with the moonsault, and that was it. The only thing I wish is that Taker had waited just a wee bit longer to get back to his feet. But that is such a nitpick. It was still, I mean, that was still tremendous. That was still tremendous. Yeah, you can see why this is one of the best matches of all time. You know, I would honestly put Brett and Austin over this match as far as best WWE matches of all time. This match was great. Don't get me wrong. This match was terrific. These are two professionals who knew what they were doing, who had tremendous chemistry. They had tremendous chemistry, but this match had a bunch of botches in it. So, yeah, and there was a lot of stuff that I didn't notice until I saw it this time around. But these two were so over that you could be afforded everything not looking clean in order to get it. And then it's just all recaps and Undertaker doing the thing. So I'm gonna cap it off there. But what a very, very fun match. And what a way to start out our 2021 than with a tremendous match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. I very much look forward to reviewing it with Skylar on Friday. So stay tuned for the first episode of 2021 with a brand new segment that Skylar Greenberg's got to the table. Of course, as always, I'm going to be bringing a topic to the table. We got the match of the week, which we just saw, and of course the Superstar Spotlight. And believe me, folks, we have been putting off for reasons this particular Superstar Spotlight, but oh boy, it's a doozy. It's going to be something. It is can't miss television, can't miss YouTube action, can't miss podcasting. So we hope to see you there, but you don't forget how to do it. You got to like, you got to subscribe, and you got to hit that bell button, and you got to put it to all, not to personalize, because personalize will not show you every time you upload. It'll do it if there's a really major one, but they won't do it for everything. So you got to click the bell button and click it to all. Personalized don't mean nothing. Put it to all. That's how you're going to know. That's how you're going to be updated each and every time we bring something to the table, whether we're doing a live stream like this or whether we're doing an actual podcast, which we will be at our first podcast of 2021 come Friday. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you on Friday.